So here we are coming to the next part and the final part of the story, J.C Bose, A Beautiful Mind. In the previous part, you have come to know a lot of information about J.C Bose's early life, how he spent his school days, childhood, and how he struggled, how he raised his protest, and how finally he was selected in a permanent post in Presidency College. So with this information we have gone through the first part, and now we are coming to the last part and the final part of the story. Here we will come to know a lot of information about J.C Bose's invention, discoveries on science, how he contributed. Okay, let's start. Bose had invented several sensitive instruments. Here is written, Bose had invented several sensitive instruments. So what does it mean? It means Bose invented several sensitive instruments. It means the instruments which we used in laboratory, as usually in the science lab we use the instruments, equipments for research. Many instruments were invented by J.C. Bose. So here in the first sentence it is written that Bose had invented several sensitive instruments. One of them is the crescograph. Okay, one of them is the crescograph, which is used to measure the growth rate of plants. So what does it mean? It doesn't mean you have already known. I have previously told you it's an instrument used to measure the growth rate of plants. It means how does a plant grow up. Okay, so how can you measure it? How can you measure it? You can measure with the use of the instrument crescograph, and that instrument was invented by J.C. Bose. Through his experiments, Bose showed that plants behave in the same manner as human beings, although the plants take longer to respond than animals. So what is written here? Through his experiments, Bose showed, it means Bose proved what? That plants behave in the same manner as human beings, as we react in every actions, and as same as the plants react. The plants behave in the same manner as we do, although plants take longer to respond than animals. But plants take longer. Plant takes much time to respond. We take not so much time. We take very fast. We respond faster than plants, but plant takes much time longer to respond than animals. And he proved that plants are sensitive to heat, cold, light, noise and other external stimuli. But it's called, he proved that plants are sensitive to heat, cold, light, noise and other external stimuli. So plants can react to heat, cold, light, noise and other external stimuli just like human beings, just like we do. Yes, suppose there is a hot summer noon and the sun is beating down. So what we do, as usually we take umbrella, or we feel hot, very hot today. So the trees, the plants also do the same as we do. By injecting poison into a living plant, Bose showed that they react in the same manner as we do. What is this? By injecting, it means he injected poison into living plant. Who injected? Bose injected. It means Bose gave injection with poison into a living plant, like a living tree. So what happened then? The Bose showed that they react in the same manner as we do. As a human does, as we do after having poison in our body, after after injected being injected with poison in our body. What we do, the same thing a plant does if a plant is injected with poison. So Bose did that. Yes, J.C. Bose showed that if a plant is injected with poison, okay, the plant would react as same as we do. Scientific research on electromagnetic waves was initiated by J.C. Bose in late 19th century. Listen carefully. Scientific research on electromagnetic waves was initiated by J.C. Bose in the late 19th century. It means the research of electromagnetic waves was led by J.C. Bose in late 19th century. It was the Italian scientist Marconi, here is the name of personality, Marconi, who got the patent for the invention of wireless telegraphy. Yes, J.C. Bose actually initiated the electromagnetic waves research, but the patent was achieved by Italian scientist Marconi. Yes, Marconi is the name of Italian scientist, is written here. Italian scientist who got the patent, who got the copyright of the invention of wireless telegraphy. But we must remember that Bose's public demonstration in Calcutta along the same lines happened much earlier. Yes, keep it in your mind. Yes, this sentence is one of the most important sentences in this text. What is written there? Actually, J.C. Bose started the invention, started the research of electromagnetic waves, but the patent was achieved by an Italian scientist, Marconi. Marconi got the patent, Marconi got the copyright. You have come to know that meaning of patent in the previous video. So Marconi got the patent of copyright. Marconi got the copyright of the research of the invention of wireless telegraphy. But keep in your mind that we must remember that Bose's public demonstration in Calcutta along the same lines happened much earlier. It means Bose demonstrated the electromagnetic waves much earlier in Calcutta. Instead of looking for commercial benefit for his inventions, Bose made this invention public in order to allow or to advance further along the lines of his research. Okay, this proves that J.C. Bose, a beautiful mind. Yes, so why is the name of the text is J.C. Bose, a beautiful mind? Because listen carefully. J.C. Bose started the research of electromagnetic waves and demonstrated in Calcutta how the electromagnetic waves worked. But Italian scientist Marconi got the patent for the invention of wireless telegraphy. Wireless telegraphy, that is called electromagnetic waves passes through a wire. So he got, but we must remember J.C. Bose started the research much earlier, and J.C. Bose did not do it for any commercial benefit, for any earning. Yes, for earning money. He started this invention for what? For in order to allow others to advance further along in lines of his research. Okay, so he demonstrated this publicly in Kolkata because he wanted to allow others. Look at this sentence. He wanted to allow others to advance further along the lines of his research. It means he wanted that others could go ahead with this research, with this research from his demonstration. Okay, and that is the reason, that is why J.C. Bose had a beautiful mind. However, Bose's place in history has now been re-evaluated. Okay, however, Bose's place in history, it means Bose's position in history has now been re-evaluated. Okay, so it means Bose had got proper honor, proper respect for his research for his invention. Okay, this great Indian scientist was eventually crowned with glory when he was awarded knighthood by the British government in the year 1917. So this great Indian scientist was eventually crowned with glory. Yes, eventually was honored with glory when he was awarded knighthood by the British government. It is a passive sentence. Look at here. This great Indian scientist was eventually crowned with glory when he was awarded knighthood by the British government in 1917. So what is in active mode? In the year 1917, British government awarded knighthood to him. Or in the year 1917, British government awarded him, whom awarded J.C. Bose, the knighthood. Yes, J.C. Bose got the award, knighthood. Yes, which Rabindranath also got, but he rejected the award. He refused the award in protest of Jallianwala Bagh massacre. But come to the point, J.C. Bose was awarded knighthood by the British government in the year 1917. So it was a remarkable year for J.C. Bose. Also for us, we must keep it in our mind that J.C. Bose was awarded knighthood by the British government. He was also conferred many other awards like Fellow of Royal Society, Companion in Order to the Indian Empire, etc. So after that award, he was awarded many more, like he got many awards like Fellow of Royal Society, Companion of the Order of the Indian Empire. Needless to say, he is one of the greatest scientists ever born in our country. So where is written in the superlative degree? He is one of the greatest scientists ever born in our country. Yes, that's true. J.C. Bose is one of the greatest scientists all over the world. And not only scientist, but also he had a beautiful mind. Yes, he never thought of earning money. He never thought of having commercial benefit. This story proves that. Okay, if you go through the passage carefully, and you must not only read, but you must follow the essence of the story, the actual theme of the story, what the story wants to tell us. Okay, you must catch it out. It is very important for us. We have to know it. Yes, we have to know it. And this great Indian scientist was eventually crowned with glory when he was awarded knighthood by the British government in 1917. He was also conferred many other awards like what? Fellow of Royal Society is the name of the award. Fellow of Royal Society, Companion Order of the Indian Empire is also the name of an award. And needless to say, he is one of the greatest scientists ever born in our country. Sir J.C. Bose wrote several books. Yes, here is some name of books J.C. Bose wrote. J.C. Bose wrote many books on science fiction. So J.C. Bose several books and published many research papers in leading science journal. Here is a point to be noted. He published many research papers in leading science journal. It means he also published his authentic research papers so that others could lead his research on science. And J.C. Bose wrote several books, it means a few books and published many research papers in leading science journals. Some of his famous books are Response in the Living and the Non-Living. Here is the name of a book. Some of famous books are Response in the Living and Non-Living. The nervous mechanism of plants, the major mechanism of plants in 1896. So Bose wrote Niruddesher Khoje, a science fiction. Okay, so here are some books written by J.C. Bose, the name of some books. So what are the name of some books? Some name of the books are Response in the Living and the Non-Living, The Nervous Mechanism of Plants, Major Mechanism of Plants. And in 1896, Bose wrote Niruddesher Khoje. It is a science fiction. It is imaginary story on science, based on science. That is called science fiction. What is called science fiction? Science fiction means imaginary stories based on science. It is called science fiction. Okay, so you can watch the movie of science fiction like Iron Man, Batman, Superman. That is called science fiction movie. So here is a science fiction movie. Bose wrote Niruddesher Khoje, a science fiction. In fact, he was the first writer of science fiction in Bangla. Yes, there is also a important information for us. What? He was the first writer of science fiction in Bangla. Yes, there were many writers who wrote science fiction, but he was the first to write science fiction in Bangla, in our language. In November 1917, Bose founded Bose Institute. Yes, it means in November 1970s, J.C. Bose set up Bose Institute at his own house in Calcutta. So where did Bose set up Bose Institute? At his own house in Calcutta. And he donated Bose Institute to the nation for research on science. So here is another example of Bose's open mind, Bose's beautiful mind. What? He donated Bose Institute. He set up Bose Institute, and then later he donated this institute to the nation for research on science. Yes, he opened this institute to all. Yes, you can come there and continue your research. Yes, that is called Bose Institute. He donated this to our nation for research on science. This great Indian scientist breathed his last. It means he passed away. He died. Breathed his last on 23rd November 1937. So here is a very, very useful sentence written here. This great Indian scientist breathed his last on 23rd November 1937. Breathed his last. Yes, you can note it down. Breathed his last. It means passed away. It means died. Okay, so you can use this sentence in your biography writing. Whenever you will write any biography, you can use this sentence. Whenever at the final sentence, in the conclusion sentence about your writing biography about any person, a great person, eminent person. So you can use this sentence in your biography in the final sentence, conclusion sentence. This great person, or this great scientist, or this great freedom fighter, this great author breathed his last on the date and the year. So listen the sentence again. This great Indian scientist breathed his last on 23rd November 1937. Okay, so this is the discussion of the final part of the story J.C. Bose. I hope you will read it line by line, and not only read, try to plunge into it, try to plunge into it, try to capture its essence, try to realize what is there behind this story, what the story actually wants to tell us. Okay, so why is the story given the name J.C. Bose, a beautiful mind? Why is there a beautiful mind? So here are some sentences, here are some examples of in sentence that prove that J.C. Bose had really a beautiful mind. Yes, J.C. Bose possessed really a beautiful mind. Yes, so you must read it repeatedly and you watch the video till the end, so that you can clear your view, you can clear your meaning of words, and start doing the activities and from your textbook and also from your practice books if you have. So home, stay safe and take care of yourself and continue your studies. Okay.